It started like a thunderclap inside Buckingham Palace. Out of nowhere, a statement shook the entire kingdom. Meghan Markle is permanently stripped of her royal title. Those words weren't just another rumor spinning around the tabloids. No, this time it was official. A cold, calculated move from the heart of the royal institution itself. The walls of the palace whispered it before the media screamed it. Meghan, once the shining Duchess of Sussex, would never again be addressed by her royal title. And what made it even more explosive? The shadow hanging over it all, Jeffrey Epstein. The moment that name was mentioned in the same breath as the royal family, the entire monarchy froze. The connection wasn't directly Meghan's, but the air around her became toxic because of how deeply the Epstein scandal had wrapped its claws around Prince Andrew. Meghan was part of that family, tied to those titles, that brand, that crown, and the palace knew the contamination couldn't be contained forever. For years, Meghan had flaunted the power of her title like armor. Duchess of Sussex wasn't just a name, it was her identity, her global pass, her brand. Every book, every show, every speech, every interview carried that royal glow. But now, the glow had turned into fire, and the palace decided to put it out for good. Inside those ancient royal corridors, a new rule was made crystal clear. Titles will no longer protect anyone, no matter who they are, no matter how famous. And the one leading this quiet, ruthless revolution? Not Parliament, not even King Charles. It was Prince William, the heir, the man preparing to wear the crown, and he wasn't about to let the monarchy burn under the weight of more scandals. See, for centuries, everyone believed royal titles were sacred, untouchable. Once you had it, you kept it. The only way to lose it was to give it up yourself. But that belief shattered when the palace quietly introduced something new, something powerful. A letters patent that allowed the crown to take titles away. By force. No permission, no agreement, just a royal signature. That single legal tool changed everything. After Prince Andrew's humiliating scandal, the Epstein connection, the hush money, the disgrace, the monarchy faced unbearable pressure. Parliament was breathing down their necks. The public was furious. The newspapers were vicious. Something had to give. So, the palace acted. They needed a way to clean house before the rot spread any further. And this new rule gave them just that power. Suddenly, even Harry and Meghan's titles were dangling by a thread. They could be taken at any time. No warning. No negotiation. All it would take was a single stroke of the pen once William took the throne. The moment he became king, the authority would be entirely his. And that's exactly what terrified Meghan and Harry's circle, because William was not bluffing. He had seen enough. He had lived through the fallout of his Uncle Andrew's scandal, and he wasn't about to watch history repeat itself. The Andrew affair had pushed the monarchy to its breaking point. It wasn't just embarrassment, it was corrosion. The headlines back then were relentless. Reports revealed Andrew's shady ties with Epstein, private meetings behind closed doors, and worst of all, allegations that he used his royal power to silence those trying to expose him. Even Scotland Yard was accused of being influenced. The whispers turned into roars. People believed a prince had used his title to cover up crimes and destroy reputations. That was the lowest point the royal family had seen in decades. And then, as if the scandal couldn't get worse, Fergie, Sarah Ferguson, once beloved for her charm, was dragged into the same web. The woman known for her cheerful persona was accused of accepting financial support tied to Epstein. Sources hinted it wasn't a one-time favor. It had gone on for years. Suddenly, it wasn't just one royal tainted by Epstein's world. It was two. The monarchy was bleeding trust. The public's faith cracked like glass. Parliament wanted answers. The palace, in a panic, sealed its lips and hoped the storm would pass. But it didn't. It grew darker. It got louder. It threatened to pull the entire royal foundation down. William watched all of this unfold, and that's when something in him changed. He realized the monarchy could no longer survive on family loyalty. It had to survive on control. The old ways had failed. Too many scandals, too many excuses. The monarchy needed to show the world that royal privilege had limits. And so, the new philosophy was born. No more untouchables. No more family first. No more titles used like shields. William made up his mind. There would never be another Prince Andrew. And to make sure of that, he looked toward the next ticking bomb, the one already threatening to explode on a global scale. Harry and Meghan. Not because of criminal behavior, not because of Epstein, but because of influence. Influence without accountability. That, to the monarchy, was even more dangerous. Since leaving the royal family, Harry and Meghan had transformed their titles into a brand, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. It was stamped on Netflix, Spotify, books, podcasts, and every public appearance they made. Their titles gave them credibility. It gave them doors that no ordinary celebrity could open. And to the monarchy, that was a terrifying kind of power. Imagine it. From the palace's perspective, every time they spoke publicly, every time they signed a deal or dropped a bombshell interview, interview, the crown's image took the hit. The monarchy had no control, but it still bore all the consequences. William saw this and decided it had to end. In his mind, the logic was clear. If titles could be weaponized, they had to be disarmed. Before it was too late. The Epstein scandal had already shown what damage one royal could do when power went unchecked. Harry and Meghan were different, but equally unpredictable. They had their own stage, their own audience, their own agenda. To William, they represented a future where the crown could be undermined from the outside. So, the decision became painfully simple. Strip the titles now, not later. End the risk before it grows. While William sharpened his resolve, another story unfolded quietly inside the palace. One about King Charles. His reign was supposed to bring unity and modern elegance, but behind the polished smiles and speeches, the cracks were showing. The whispers grew that Charles was too soft, too slow, too cautious. He hesitated when he should have acted. He wanted peace when the monarchy needed power. He didn't act firmly with Andrew. He didn't step decisively with Harry and Meghan. And while he paused, the controversies kept multiplying. Many insiders blamed Camilla's influence, claiming Charles listened too much to her advice, seeking comfort instead of confrontation. Then came the health rumors, his declining strength, his fragility, the quiet speculation that maybe, just maybe, Charles wasn't built to lead the monarchy through chaos. Parliament was restless. Advisors were nervous. The public was losing faith again. Some even whispered about abdication, that Charles might step aside sooner than anyone expected. And in that growing tension, one figure stood taller, sharper, colder, Prince William. He wasn't waiting for the crown to fall into his lap. He was preparing to seize it, not through rebellion, but through readiness. He studied the chaos, learned from it, and made a silent vow. His monarchy would be different, stronger, harder, unforgiving if necessary. He wasn't chasing approval anymore. He was chasing stability, even if it meant cutting down his own family to save the crown. And yes, that's exactly what he's prepared to do. Reports from insiders claim that William's vision for the monarchy is shockingly strict. If one of his own children, Charlotte or Louis, ever decided not to serve the crown, he would strip their titles too. Imagine that. A father ready to take away royal honors from his own kids. That's not cruelty. It's conviction. To William, titles are not gifts. They're uniforms. You wear them if you serve. If you don't, you take them off. So if he's willing to do that to Charlotte and Louis, then Harry and Meghan never stood a chance. This isn't about hatred. It's about principle. William would rather endure pain today than face another humiliation tomorrow. The monarchy must be clean, disciplined, loyal, and controlled, or it dies. In William's rule, blood will never be protection. Only duty will. Inside Buckingham Palace, there's said to be a quiet office, a place not many people see. Behind those doors lies a set of documents, already prepared, already framed, a framework that outlines exactly how royal titles can be legally erased forever. The signatures may not be there yet, but everything else is in place. All it awaits is the moment William becomes king, and when that day arrives, the purge begins. You can already feel it, the shift in the air around the palace. It's heavy, tense, electric. Staffers talk in hushed voices. Senior courtiers avoid eye contact when the topic comes up. They all know something historic is about to happen. For the first time in modern royal history, titles will fall, not because of scandal, but because of policy. Because a new king will no longer tolerate the idea of royals living outside the palace while cashing in on their names. This isn't just about Harry and Meghan, it's about redefining what being royal even means. William isn't the little boy walking behind Diana's coffin anymore. He's the storm walking toward the throne, a storm ready to tear down whatever weakens the crown, even if it's his own family. When the day comes, it will happen quietly at first. A simple announcement, maybe a short statement. By order of His Majesty, the titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex are hereby withdrawn. That's it, just a few lines. But the impact will echo around the world. Across the ocean, Harry and Meghan will wake up to a new reality. The names that once opened doors will mean nothing. The power that once drew cameras will fade. They'll just be Harry and Meghan Mountbatten Windsor again. No crown, no shield, no royal weight behind their words. And when that silence falls, the world will ask the question that will define royal history for decades to come. Did the monarchy save itself? Or did it destroy its family forever? Because what's coming isn't peace. It's a reset, a purge, a storm unlike anything the royal house has faced before. The countdown has already started. No one can stop it now. Not the titles, not the history, not even blood. When William takes that throne, the storm won't wait another second. It will sweep through the palace, through every corridor, through every title, until nothing unnecessary remains. And as the dust settles, one truth will become crystal clear. This new monarchy will be built not on sentiment or sympathy, but on survival. And somewhere far away, in California's quiet hills, Meghan will finally understand. The day she lost her title wasn't about Epstein. It wasn't about scandal. It was about power, because the palace doesn't share it, not anymore.